This is not just a story about cars. It is a story about trust, about risk, and about what happens when power ignores the people who make government work. So today, we unpack the alleged 1.2 billion naira car scandal rocking the government of Benue State, a case that, should concern every Nigerian small business owner all over the country. Imagine delivering 9 brand new, utility vehicles to a state governor. The governor himself inspecting and taking delivery of those vehicles and then being told to wait for your money while those same cars are handed out to politicians 3 days after. That is the situation Very Dark Man says has happened. And it leaves us with one big question. What exactly went wrong? And what does this teach us about leadership, about responsibility, and about the future of businesses in Nigeria? On paper, this was a straightforward deal. A quotation was requested by the Benue state government from Brims Auto in Abuja for the supply of 9 vehicles. Toyota Hilux 2024, Toyota Hiace, Toyota Prado, and others. 9 of them in total. Okay? The quotation came to 1.2 billion or thereabout. And according to what has been circulating, within the social media sphere, the governor approved it on the 20th of August 2025. The understanding, as the car dealer himself has explained, was payment on delivery. And you know what that means. You deliver, you get your payments. Okay? So because they were dealing with the governor directly, they trusted the process. Why won't they? Because these are people who were dealing with the governor himself. Why would they ever believe for any reason that he will renege, on the understanding that they already had with him? So the car dealer was said to have gone ahead to borrow 4 of the vehicles because he didn't have 4 of the types that were specified for him. So he went ahead, borrowed 4, to make it the 9. Okay? He loaded everything up and just to keep to the promise that he would deliver, he drove those vehicles straight to Benue State. Upon arrival that very day, the governor himself allegedly came out. In fact, there are video evidence to that. I have seen some of those videos myself. Okay? So the governor came out, inspected the vehicles, confirmed they were in good condition, and received them. Okay? At that point, one would expect immediate payment, but that is not what happened, unfortunately. Instead, after the vehicles were received, the dealer was told about a compulsory 1% tender fee or more. So this was never discussed at the beginning, according to the story. Yet Brims Auto, was left with no choice. Yes. So they have to avoid losing face, and in the hope that their balance will follow quickly, they went ahead and paid 12 million naira to the Benue State Board of Internal Revenue, representing the 1% of 1.2 billion naira. That was supposed to clear the way for their funds to be released, right? But the money never came. After doing all that, the money never came. Okay? So days turned to excuses, and excuses turned into silence. Okay? And to make matter worse, just 3 days later, social media was flooded with images and videos of those same very cars being distributed to members of the Benue State House of Assembly. And this was done by no other person than the Speaker of the Benue State House of Assembly himself. You can imagine this. So these cars were bought to be distributed, some of them, to be distributed among the members of the House of Assembly. Meanwhile, the man who made this supply happen is yet to be paid. Okay? So think about it, my people. The supplier is left unpaid while beneficiaries are already driving these cars around. That is not only unfair, it is a deep moral failure on the part of the government, if you ask me. And again, there's even something that is even frightening. There were allegations, according to what Very Dark Man said, that some of those who got those cars have already sold. They've sold some of them already. You can imagine this thing happening. Meanwhile, the man who borrowed more vehicles, possibly borrowed money to take them to Benue State, has not been paid a couple. So, like I said, that is not only unfair, it is a deep moral failure. Okay? The human cost of this drama is so heartbreaking, I tell you, my people. The dealer, under immense pressure from other car dealers, that is the other car dealer that he made that, borrowed those 4 vehicles from, is said to have, because of the pressure, is said to have, collapsed into ill health and is now hospitalized. If the videos shown by Very Dark Man is anything to go by, I watched those videos myself and I saw the dealer truly being hospitalized and undergoing some medical check right there. His brother, confided in VDM that the car dealer had become suicidal because he doesn't know what to do again. Okay? Because he's in debt as well. A man who only wanted to build trust with his government, because this man, the car dealer, we are told is also from Benue State. So for a man who just wanted to build trust with his own government, who only wanted to grow his business through genuine service, is now battling for his life allegedly. There's an old proverb that says, when a man washes his hands clean, he will eat with kings. But if the kings refuse to pay, the servant goes hungry, right? That is what this feels like. I tell you, my people. A small business washed its hands so clean, supplied vehicles in good faith, and was left hungry while the state enjoyed the cars all over the place. Let us step back and look at the system itself, my people, at this juncture. Procurement rules exist to protect public funds and to also ensure due process. Direct procurement may be allowed in emergencies, but it still requires a transparent paper trail. There must be an approval, an invoice, a payment order, and then disbursement. When new conditions like compulsory fees appear after delivery, they become weapon of delay. I tell you, when cars are distributed before suppliers are paid, that is not procurement oversight. That is irresponsibility right there, I tell you. When middlemen ask for bribes to help facilitate payment, as it is being alleged, that is outright corruption, I tell you. These 3 failures together discourage honest suppliers. This kills competition and destroys trust in government transactions, because that is exactly what this is implying right there. What does this matter? You want to know, right? Because if a state government becomes an unreliable customer, who will supply them in future? I can tell you that a lot of other small business owners wouldn't want to go near such a government, no matter how urgent that supply is. If small businesses risk bankruptcy simply by delivering goods to government, then jobs are lost, loans are unpaid, and young entrepreneurs walk away. And when the youth walk away from honest enterprise, they are pushed towards shortcuts, crime, unrest, or even corruption. That is why these so-called delays are not are completely so dangerous to all of us. Unpaid government debts are not just accounting problems; they are direct attack on the business confidence and on national stability. I tell you. So where should accountability land right now? It is simple. Publish the procurement documents, the quotation, the approval, the delivery manifest, show payment records, or explain clearly why payment was delayed. But I tell you, no one is doing this at this moment. Nobody is explaining the cause of this delay. All we see is the fact that these vehicles have been shared among themselves, politicians, and everybody is enjoying. Why the man who made this supply is languishing right now in the hospital. Okay? So investigate why vehicles were distributed before the supplier received this balance. And above all, pay what is owed. Why is the government of Benue State not paying what it owed this man. If there are disputes, let them be resolved transparently, not through threats, not through silence, and not through intimidation. A government can summon suppliers overnight, I mean, and but they cannot pretend and cannot say the process of payment is going to be delayed. They cannot pretend that they don't know this payment process is being delayed. It's not possible. For other small business owners, the lesson here is very, very painful, but very, very important as well. Always insist on written advance payment. Where possible, use escrow accounts. Document deliveries with photos, videos, and timestamp. Get countersigned acceptance letters from procurement officers, not just handshakes from officials. Keep your records safe and consult legal advice on high value orders. When government is involved, paperwork is protection. I guess to a very reasonable extent, this supplier did a lot of this. I'm not too sure. Maybe the legal aspect is what he didn't do, but I'm sure in terms of documentation here and there, I'm sure he did that due diligence. Okay, but we are just saying that going forward, we need to tidy all the loose ends, when dealing with government. Okay, but beyond procedure, this is about value right now. Government exists to protect the weak, not to punish them. If leaders treat small businesses like expendable cash cows, then leadership becomes predatory. Another proverb says, a tree does not make a forest. Nigeria's economy is a forest today, and small businesses are the trees that make up that forest. If the trees are cut down, the forest will just in a matter of time disappear. Leaders are trustees of public trust, and trustees that betray suppliers are not just betraying those suppliers, but they are betraying the very people who they are supposed to govern. This matter is still trending online. Very Dark Man and many other citizens have called on the government of Benue State to do the right thing. I'm also using this medium to call on the governor of Benue State to do the needful. Okay? At the minimum, publish the document, clear the debts, and protect the supplier. If you run a small business, take this as a reminder. Document everything. And like I said, this supplier did, substantially, just that. If you care about good governance, speak up and press your representatives for transparency. Because as another proverb also says, he who refuses to be taught cannot be helped. Let this case be a lesson for government, for businesses, and for all of us. And let me just wind down by saying this. Please feel free to share this video if you believe government should pay their bills. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. And if you want regular updates on this scandal, please subscribe. Let accountability be louder than silence. And with this, I want to just end it right here because I don't want this video to be too long, okay? What do you think about this unfolding story? Please feel free to go to the comment section, like I said, and drop your comment. And hopefully yours sincerely will meet you right there to take this conversation further. God bless you. I'll be right back. Bye-bye.